Hello YouTube, welcome back to my video. So in the previous video we have checked how to get the IP address location details of the user using PHP. We were just printing that values in the page only. So in this video we'll be trying to save that in the MySQL database. Okay, so I have my XAMPP server running, you can see here, and this is the project we tried to we created in last video. Okay, so let me open this. As we have commented that hard-coded IP, I'm just opening that IP again to test in localhost. Okay, so let's try this from the localhost. So it will be localhost slash the name of the page, paste it. Okay, now you can see it will load the IP address information of the IP address which we have hard coded. Okay, so this is the IP address information. Now as a first step we want to open the MySQL database and create a table with all these data, I mean all these data as a column in that table. Okay, so let's go to the MySQL database now. So I have my MySQL client, the htaccess. So I am opening my localhost account here. So this is a free MySQL client. You can just search this one, htaccess portable. So you can use free, of course, and it's just an user interface for your MySQL database as a MySQL workbench. Okay, like your MySQL workbench. So I have a database named test. Inside there is a database student. I'm going to create a new table inside this database. So the table name I'm giving it as IP location. Okay, you can give any name. I'm going to create a new column first. So let the first column be integer type, and let it be the primary key, and set the default value as auto increment. Okay, and now the next value next column name I'm giving it as status code. Will be taking the same name for our convenience. So length let it be a 300 varchar 300 of length, and default value let it be null. Okay, yes, and again the next column status message, no need. I'm going to save in IP address, and then country code, all the column name as it is. So let me save this now. So you can see the table is created in the database IP location. Okay, if I'm just opening, and you can see there is no data in this one. Okay, now we are going to insert the IP address information to this MySQL database. Now for that, the next step we have to do is we have to create a connection class from your PHP to your MySQL database. Okay, so you have to create a new page for convenience, like a DB configuration class or something. So wherever you want the DB connection, we can just call that class. Okay, so it's like DB config. Okay, let me create a DB config.php page where we will write our database configurations. Okay, let me open in my notepad++. Now let me write the database configuration codes. So I have just opened the the PHP tags. The first one which we have to give is the host name. Create a variable as host name, and then we have to create like username, password, and database name. Okay, so user name, password, and database. Okay, now first you have to call the connection. So the connection is called like this: connection is equal to new MySQLi, and inside this we have to set the host name, and then username, password, and the database name. Okay, so we have not specified this, we will specify that. Now by this line of code it will try to connect. So we can write an if loop also, like if the connection is failed, we can just inform the user like the connection is failed. Okay, so if now we can write like this, connect error. Okay, which means if there is any error, it will check here. Okay, So if there is any error, you can just give the die keyword like this and give a message connection failed, okay, and just print this directly here. Yes, now let's try this from the localhost. So we have not specified the host and the database information. There will be error for sure. Anyway, we can try it from here. It will be like localhost slash db-config.php, okay. So if I am just opening, it should return me like there is an error, okay. So the connection is not yet successful. So let me write my the database information. The username is root and the password is root and the database is test, okay. Yes, save it. Now let's go to localhost, and if I am just refreshing, we can see there is no error, which means the database connectivity is perfect, okay. Now as from the page, we have got the IP address. We are calling the get request here and getting all the information, I mean all the response here one by one, okay. Now simply give a if loop here to set all the values in the database, okay. So what you have to do is you have to get the first the connectivity to the database first, okay. So as you have done here in this page require once, you can just same way you can call the connectivity in the form get.php, and the connection class is db-config.php itself, okay. Just call it and paste it here. Now we got the connection class or connectivity of to the our database from form get.php, okay. Now just declare all the variables here one by one, what all we are getting from the response, okay. Declare all the variable or all the parameters from the response and the database columns, okay. So I have declared everything. Now you can just simply give an if loop here like this, okay. So if the key is the status code, if the key status code, so the name of the variable is status code, just copy it right from here and paste it here. So if it's status code, we can directly save that value into this key like this, okay, like this equals value, okay. Now same way I'm going to set all the values if comparing each key with the value of the parameter, okay. Just finish inserting all the keys and the values into the custom variable name we have set, okay. So once the last variable or key is reached, we can just call a function, or I'll create a function here to insert all these values into the database, okay. So let's go for creating a function. Same. Yes, I have altered the code a little bit more. So once each key is iterating, the value of that key, specific key, is actually inserted into the corresponding variable names we have set. And in the last variable name, once the key longitude is set, we are just calling another function insert into database here, okay. See, insert into database. So once the insert into database is called with all the variables set, it is just preparing a MySQL I prepare statement to insert data into the database IP location. So this is actually indirect way you can further code your own way this one, because I am just trying to alter, or I trying to take the values one by one from the JSON response. If it's if it is a different one, like now this is actually format is JSON. If I remove the format, you can get it in a plain text, okay, like this. You can just simply split it by reference to the semicolon, and each value corresponds to the each variable name which we have created in the database. This is the simplest way. I'm not doing this because I have already doing a pass JSON passing the JSON in my previous video, so I am not going to change this, okay. You can change it if you want. So let's try running this in our localhost now, okay. So this is the page. Let's get the name of the page here and go into localhost slash into that page, let's see what's happening. There is no value here because we have just commented the echo here. Okay, echo we have commented. Now let's go to database. So this is the insert test. We have created the IP location table. If I'm just refresh, you can see the data has been inserted, okay, with the country code, country name, all other information which we got from the response actually. Okay, so let's try once again. So I'm going to and comment this one so we can see exactly the output from front end also. Okay, now here we were hard coding the IP address. Let's change this IP address into another one and see what is the output. Okay, okay, save it. Now let's go to the page, and if I'm just refreshing, you can see it should show me all the result here, and further it should insert the value into the database. It's taking some time because it's running in localhost. If it's in your website or wherever you are, it will be fast. Okay, so you can see this belongs to a country United Kingdom, and this is the IP address, and city name is London, and this is time zone. Okay, let's go to database and let's see if it's added or not. Yes, you can see it's added. Okay, now you can see each time this is refreshed, it will add another value. So if you want to block that, just make your IP address as a primary key. I'll show you here. Create index and make it as a unique. Okay, just save it. Okay, now yes, there is duplicate value, that's why it's creating error. Let me delete the value, and now yes, now it can be saved. Okay, now you can see if whenever I'm refreshing, it will call the API, get the information, but it won't add duplicate values in the database. Okay, you can see. So hope you got this, how you can get the IP address location from of a user using PHP, and with a third party API we are we are taking the location of the IP address and adding that into your MySQL database like this. Okay, so hope you got this. I have explained step by step how you can do it, and if you have any doubt in this, please comment below. I'll try to help you. I'll share all the source code in my description, you can have it, and please like and subscribe for my videos, and thanks for watching.